Welcome back to Wishes and Dishes by Chef Miles. Glad to have you guys back. So today we're going to be making an East African classic where every grain of rice brings spice. We're going to be making pilau today. Let's get right to it. Okay, so for our ingredients, we're going to need some chopped up potatoes. We're also going to need some chopped up beef. I do prefer some beef with a bit of fat for pilau. It's just a personal opinion. You can do as you please. We also have 3.5 cups of rice here. We have 4 chopped up onions. We have some garlic and ginger that's been grated up. You can also see we have some salt there on the side. And for our spices, we're going to be using curry powder, pilau masala, and some black pepper. And this is also optional. For our kachumbari, we're going to need 1 chopped up tomato, 1 chopped up onion, and some lemon, just to add a bit of flavor to it. All right, so just to begin, we're going to put our meat into some water and leave it to boil for a few minutes. Okay, so as you can see, our meat has actually finally boiled. We can now go ahead and take it out. Okay, so after our meat has boiled, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get an empty sufuria. Just make sure it's big enough, and go ahead and add some cooking oil. Yeah, just make sure there's enough oil. And first step, we're gonna be going ahead and putting in our onions. Yeah, so we're gonna leave our onions for a few minutes till they actually get golden brown before we go ahead and add the meat. Okay, so as you can see, our onions are starting to turn golden brown. We can now go ahead and add our beef. And the boiled water from, or rather the soup that came from the boiled meat, let's not actually pour that out, just keep it. As we're adding water with the rice, we can actually go ahead and add that soup. It just gives it a bit more flavor. So let's just leave our meat for a few minutes to fry till they also start turning golden brown. Alright, so as you can see, our meat is looking well fried. It's just getting that nice golden brown color. And at this point, we can now go ahead and add our mixture of garlic and ginger. This is what we grated earlier. And just mix that right in. Oh, that smells so good. You could only be here. We just leave that for a few minutes, let's say 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll get back to it. Alright, so as you can see, our garlic is looking good in there. So you remember the water that we boiled the meat with? We should actually keep that just to add a bit of flavor. And since we're gonna be making 3.5 cups of rice, you are typically expected to go for 7 cups of water. However, when making pilau, I actually prefer to put 1 cup less just to ensure that the rice is not actually soggy. So the first cup, instead of adding water, we're actually gonna be adding the soup from the meat. Then go ahead and add an extra 5 cups of water. Okay, so at this point, we've put the 1 cup from the boiled soup and plus 5 other cups of water. At this point, we can now go ahead and add our potatoes. into the mixture. And at this stage too is where we can now go ahead and add our spices. With us here, we have some curry powder, and just add some on top. Can go ahead and add our pilau masala too. We also have black pepper here, just a dash. And we can also go ahead and add in some sea salt. Last stage, we'll actually be adding the rice. We just leave this mixture first to boil and also allow our potatoes to be able to boil properly. So let's just mix that well and just leave it for a few minutes, and we'll be able to add the rice once the water has boiled. Okay, so at this point our mixture has finally come to a boil. We can now go ahead and add our rice to the mixture, and I actually prefer washing the rice just before I add it, and this is because rice actually absorbs water. So if you want your pilau to actually come out one strand at a time, it's actually best to go ahead and just wash it right before you add it to the mixture. And when making pilau, people normally ask, what rice is this you actually use? Because the way it comes out, it's just piece by piece. It is actually best to cook using basmati rice. Any type of basmati rice is actually best. This rice is actually really good, especially for pilau, because it comes out strand by strand and not the soggy looking kind. So let's just add this to our mixture. And just give it a nice stir. You can see our meat in there, you can see our potatoes in there. This looks really, really good. So all we have to do is leave it for some time, just until all the water has evaporated, and we'll be able to come back to it. So at this stage, you can actually see that the water has actually started evaporating. We can just go ahead and mix it up just to ensure that even the potatoes are well distributed, and just keep them actually quite low so that they can continue boiling. And also we should try our best to use low heat just to ensure that the pilau actually gets well cooked and everything actually fries quite well. Okay, so once the water is actually evaporated, or rather from the very top, not at the bottom, we should actually go ahead and cover this with a sheet of aluminum foil, just to ensure that the steam actually remains intact, and this actually ensures the rice to cook really, really well and not allowing any external steam to affect this. Just be careful with your hands around the rim so that you do not get yourself injured or get any burns. So let's just cover this all around, just to ensure that the steam actually builds up. And also don't forget, this should be done on extremely low heat so that the rice can actually cook really, really well. Just keeping the steam intact. So that should actually do it. You can just leave it there for around even 10 to 15 minutes on ultra low heat, and by the time we're back, our pilau is gonna be ready. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes. I actually turned down the heat completely and just let the pilau continue cooking in the steam. And by now, I do believe that it is actually ready. Let's just go ahead and unleash this. Oh, the smell that I'm getting from this. Mm, 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 mm. This is looking so good, and this is actually ready to be served and enjoyed. Okay, well, on the side, you should not forget that we had our kachumbari that we were actually making. So we already have our chopped onion and tomato. We can just go ahead and mix this up real good. And for these onions, I had actually already washed them in water just for the bitterness of the onion to actually leave the onion, just to leave it tasting good. I do recommend to wash the onions, or rather soak them in some water. And on top of that, we can now go ahead and squeeze the lemon right on top of it. Well, some people may actually have a problem with the seeds, but for me, honestly, it doesn't actually bother me at all. So we can just squeeze the lemon onto our kachumbari. Get a nice squeeze onto that. And just keep mixing this quite well. Looks good to me. Now ready to serve. Okay, so here you can see our pilau is actually ready, well served. You can actually see the grains of rice are actually on their own. It's not soggy. The meat is well cooked. The potatoes are well boiled. Our kachumbari is looking awesome on the side. Let's get right to it. Oh, this smells so good. So here we are now. Our food is actually finally ready. It smells so amazing. I just wish you could have a whiff of this. Let's go ahead and dig in. This is so good. The meat is well done. The potatoes are just perfectly cooked, not too soggy, not underdone. They just boiled perfectly. You guys go ahead and try it out and tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Miles. It's been great having you guys back on Wishes and Dishes, and I'll see you into the next one.